What you're about to see will completely change how you think about the people who care for your children. A CEO thought he knew everything about his daughter's nanny until one moment in the park revealed a truth that would shake him to his core. This is the story of Marcus Chen, a tech billionaire who built his empire from nothing, and Sarah Williams, a 24 nanny who was about to teach him the most valuable lesson of his life. What started as an ordinary evening at the park turned into a moment that would redefine everything Marcus thought he knew about worth, kindness, and what really matters in life. Marcus Chen had everything money could buy. His tech company was worth $3 billion. He owned houses in 5 countries. His watch cost more than most people's cars. But despite all his success, Marcus was struggling with something money couldn't fix, being a single father to his 6-year-old daughter, Emma. After his wife passed away 2 years earlier, Marcus threw himself into work even harder. It was easier than dealing with the pain. Emma had a parade of nannies. 17 in 2 years to be exact. Some quit because Marcus was too demanding. Others left because they couldn't handle Emma's grief-driven tantrums. None of them seemed to really care about Emma as more than just a paycheck. Then Sarah Williams walked into their lives. Unlike the other nannies who came from expensive agencies, Sarah was recommended by Marcus's housekeeper. She was studying child psychology at night school while working multiple jobs to pay for her education. She didn't have fancy credentials or years of experience with wealthy families. What she had was something much rarer, a genuine heart. Marcus hired Sarah reluctantly. She was young, inexperienced, and frankly, he thought she'd quit within a week, like so many others. He paid her well, but kept his distance. In his mind, she was just another employee. He never bothered learning much about her background or why she chose to work with children. Sarah, on the other hand, saw Emma not as a job, but as a little girl desperately needing love and stability. While Marcus worked 16-hour days, Sarah patiently helped Emma with homework, read her bedtime stories, and most importantly, listened when Emma talked about missing her mom. 3 months into Sarah's employment, everything changed on a Tuesday evening at Riverside Park. Marcus had actually left the office early, a rare occurrence, and decided to surprise Emma by picking her up from the park himself instead of sending the driver. As he walked through the park, Marcus spotted them near the playground. But something was wrong. Emma wasn't playing. She was curled up on a bench, sobbing uncontrollably. A group of older kids had apparently been teasing her about not having a mum, calling her names that would break any parent's heart. Marcus was about to rush over when he saw Sarah's reaction. Without hesitation, Sarah sat down next to Emma and gently pulled her into her arms. What happened next stopped Marcus in his tracks. Sarah didn't just offer empty comfort. She shared something deeply personal. In a soft voice that Marcus could barely hear from his distance, Sarah told Emma about losing her own mother when she was just 8 years old. She talked about the pain, the anger, the feeling of being different from other kids. She shared how she used to carry her mother's picture everywhere and how some days the sadness felt too big for her small body. But then Sarah did something remarkable. She pulled out a small locket from around her neck, something Marcus had never noticed her wearing. Inside was a tiny photo of a woman who looked just like Sarah. "This is my mum," Sarah whispered to Emma. "She's been gone for 16 years, but I talk to her every day. And you know what she tells me? She tells me that moms who go to heaven early send extra love through the people who care about their children." Looked up at Sarah with wonder in her eyes. Really, Sarah said, wiping Emma's tears. "And I think your mom sent me to take care of you because she knew you needed someone who would understand exactly how you feel." Marcus felt something he hadn't experienced in years, tears in his own eyes. He watched as Sarah helped Emma make a wish and blow it toward the sky, telling her it was a message to her mum. For the first time since her mother's death, Emma was smiling, really, truly smiling. But Marcus's emotions quickly shifted to shame. Here was this young woman, earning a fraction of what his lowest paid executives made, pouring her heart into caring for his daughter. She had her own grief, her own struggles, yet she was using her pain to help heal Emma's. Marcus realized he had been so focused on Emma's material needs, the best scores, the most expensive toys, the perfect schedule, that he had missed what she really needed. Someone who saw her pain and met it with understanding, not just distraction. That evening, Marcus did something he had never done before. He asked Sarah to stay for dinner, not as the nanny, but as someone he wanted to know better. He learned that Sarah grew up in foster care after her mother's death. She worked at a diner on weekends and tutored kids online at night to pay for her psychology degree. Her dream was to open a center for grieving children. kids like Emma, like herself. Sarah had been saving every penny, but with her modest salary, that dream seemed decades away. She never complained, never asked for more. She just quietly loved Emma and hoped she was making a difference. The next morning, Marcus called Sarah into his office. She looked nervous, probably thinking she had overstepped somehow. Instead, Marcus handed her an envelope. Inside was a check that would not only pay for the rest of her education, but also provide the seed money for her dream center. "This isn't charity," Marcus told her. "This is recognition of something I should have seen months ago. You're not just Emma's nanny. You're the person who gave my daughter her smile back. You're someone who turned your own pain into a gift for others." Sarah stared at the check in disbelief. Through tears, she whispered, "Mr. Chen, I can't accept this. I was just doing my job." "No," Marcus replied. "You were doing something much more important. You were being the person Emma needed when I couldn't be. You showed her that loss doesn't mean the end of love. That's worth more than any salary I could ever pay you." The story doesn't end there. Sarah did finish her degree and opened the Emma Chen Center for Grieving Children, named after the little girl who helped her realize her purpose. Marcus became more than her employer. He became a friend, and eventually, a father figure she had never had. Emma grew up knowing that love comes in many forms. Her mother's love lived on through memories. Her father's love provided security and support. And Sarah's love taught her that healing is possible and that our deepest wounds can become our greatest gifts to others. This story reminds us that we never really know the full story of the people around us. Sarah could have been just another employee to Marcus, but she was actually a guardian angel who understood grief in a way no one else could. Sometimes the most valuable people in our lives aren't the ones with the biggest titles or the fanciest degrees. They're the ones with the biggest hearts. Marcus learned that true wealth isn't measured in bank accounts or stock portfolios. It's measured in the people who show up when it matters, who see beyond the surface, and who give love freely, without expecting anything in return. The next time you see someone caring for others, a teacher, a caregiver, a friend who always listens, remember Sarah's story. Remember that behind every act of kindness is a human being with their own struggles, their own dreams, and their own capacity to change. Lives in ways money never could. Don't miss the next video, where we explore more incredible stories of ordinary people doing extraordinary things.